Greetings and welcome. My name is Mike Bankhead. I am your host. I am a bass player and songwriter from the Gem City, Dayton, Ohio. It is my honor on this episode to welcome Nathan Peters. Nathan is a songwriter and musician who has a long time in the music scene here in Dayton, but that's not what we're talking about on this episode. Nathan is the organizer of Dayton Music Fest, and that is the topic on the You Could Be My Aramis podcast. This year will be Dayton Music Fest number 20. Dayton Music Fest 20 in episode number 116 of this podcast. Let's let Nathan tell us all about this special event. Hello there, Nathan Peters.
Well, the great Mike Bankhead, thank you for speaking with me this evening.
Thank you for being available. I don't really feel great. How long
Oh,
have
I'm
we known
sorry.
each other?
I would say since at least 2000.
Yeah, almost 25 years, probably, right?
Yeah, yeah.
You
It's
were still in high school then when I first
uh
met you.
well, so if I was still in high school, that would have been 99. And that's when
Yeah,
we first started playing. I think I was still in high school.
I
So yeah,
definitely
you're
met you
probably
before
right.
you graduated. You're old now.
Oh man, I know. It just time just slips through your hands like sand, you know. What do?
It
You just
does.
uh you just enjoy life. That's all you can really try to do.
We will go through your lengthy music career in a future conversation. And the reason I say that is because at some point I want to talk about your current musical project, Turbo Slacker. But today is not that conversation.
Today is not the day.
Today we're going to talk about Dayton Music Fest number 20.
Now, how can
Nathan,
you believe it?
it's awesome. I've been going to this for a long time, so have you. Nathan, could you explain to the listeners what Dayton Music Fest is?
Well, first and foremost, Dayton Music Fest is a celebration of our local music scene. Um, and that pretty much is where it began. I think, the fourth person whose hands it's been in. And it's a multi-day, multi-venue, bar hopping type festival that really just focuses on past, present, and future Dayton music that's amazing. The first year, I believe, Enon and Swearing at Motorists played, so it's a pretty epic year for Dayton Music Fest. The first one, man, they really started the ball rolling,
So cool. So
and it's
cool.
just it's taken different forms and shapes over the years, but this is kind of where I fell in on it. Is that this is the second time I've done it, where Friday is at Brightside Only, and then Saturday is at Bob's Oregon Express, Yellow Cab Tavern, and Trolley Stop, and we've added back in Oregon Express this year. So
So let's get
pretty
into the
cool.
specific detail. We'll start with the dates, the times, and how much it's going to cost someone to attend, and then we'll go to who's playing. So this podcast is going up on Wednesday, October 9th. So hello, dear listener. Happy Wednesday the 9th or Thursday the 10th, depending on when you're listening. The first day of Dayton Music Fest is Friday, October 11th. Nathan, what time does it start and where should I go?
So Friday, October 11th, we are at the Brightside Only. Doors are going to open right around 5 o'clock, and our first act goes on right at 5:30. And there's two stages at the Brightside, and so you'll be jumping back and forth, seeing 10 amazing bands all night.
So basically nonstop music from 5:30 p.m. or so until perhaps midnight.
Yep, maybe a little later. Yeah,
That sounds wonderful. How much will
yeah.
it cost me to go on Friday?
So we have some tiers in the ticket price. Your best bet, if you feel like you want to go the whole weekend, is to buy a weekend pass in advance for $25 for over 30 bands. If you want to just go to a single night, it is $20. Weekend passes as of Friday, you are a little less value. They cost $30, but still pretty incredible price for 2 days of music and seeing just amazing, amazing local and regional and national bands.
All right. So, dear listener, if you want to save money and get the best deal, buy your weekend pass today, Wednesday, or tomorrow, Thursday, for $25. Where on the internet do they go to buy that weekend pass, Nathan Peters?
DaytonMusicFest.com. Pretty simple.
DaytonMusicFest.com. $25 gets you in Friday and also gets you in Saturday to all of the venues. If you
Yeah.
have something going on Saturday and you could only go Friday, $20 gets you in Friday. Nathan, tell me about the venues on Saturday. What venues are the bands playing at for Dayton Music Fest this Saturday?
So this coming Saturday, we kick off very beginning at the first band kicks off a little after 6. Doors will be at 5 at Yellow Cab, and then the rest of the evening starts around 8 at Blind Bob's, Oregon Express, and Trolley Stop.
4 venues, conveniently all within easy walking distance of each other.
Yeah, the whole point, right, is that, I always have tried to set this thing up so that if you really wanted to catch a song or two of every single act, you can. And I typically see at least a song and then I bounce to the next venue.
Which, you're the organizer, so that makes sense. You want to support everyone. But let it be known that if you schedule your time right, you probably can manage to see every single artist. You don't have to. If you find someone you love or more than one artist you love, stay at Bob's for a while, stay at Yellow Cab for a while, stay at Trolley for a while, stay at Oregon Express for a while. But the point is, there's a lot of variety. Nathan, how
Oh
many
yeah.
different genres of music are we going to be exposed to here? Because it's not all the same kind of music, is it?
No, we have a decent amount of indie rock. We have some punk rock. We have some almost fusion jazz. We have a lot of solo artists. We have some hip hop. We have some folk. We have some singer songwriter, some bluegrass. It is really literally across the spectrum. Little things that probably edge on metal as well. So kind of try to get a full representation of what's going on in town. It's always difficult
It
to
is.
to make everything and everybody happy, but I really try to give everybody a little glimpse into everything that's going on in town, and also just phenomenal artists. So yeah.
Let's take a minute and talk about some of the non-Dayton artists who will be here, and then we'll get into the Dayton artists. So every year at Dayton Music Fest, it is called Dayton Music Fest. So the overwhelming majority of the music you will see are people from right here in our community. But every year, there are some out-of-town artists that are invited to come join us and come celebrate music with us. Who are the people coming from out of town this year, and where are they from?
Yeah, so Lolito is from Philadelphia, and she is the daughter of a very famous punk artist, and she actually does. I almost what I've heard recording wise, it reminds me a little bit of Radiohead. So I'm super excited about that. We have Palm Ghosts out of Nashville, which they are super cool. Have almost a a shoegaze type vibe. Very cool band. We have Exit Angles, and they're from West Virginia. And they just did the last Brainiac tour. So I guess John and them were friends with this guy, and I met him at a Cincinnati show. And of course, I was just like, well, this guy obviously needs to come to Dayton.
Obviously.
Yeah, and they're rad. It's a punk band, but just just off the charts good. Um, Rat Bath is, I believe, also from Nashville, and they're touring a lot. And that's someone who actually a friend of mine, Daisy Kaplan
From Lung.
Long from Long, um, just he's just a super good human to all the bands that he goes out and tours and plays with. And then when he sees somebody cool and they're trying to come through town around Dayton Music Fest, he points them in my direction, which I think is very cool.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, so very cool. Um, Saint Wolves is from the Toledo area. And then our big headliner for the year is Mr. Gnome from Cleveland, Ohio. And they took about 5 year hiatus off of playing shows, but they would come through Blind Bob's, and they it's the only one of the few shows that Blind Bob's used to do pre-sale tickets for before the pandemic, and it would all I played with them one time and was just completely in awe of how good they are, and they just pack the house. People are so excited that they're coming back to Dayton, and it's I'm so happy that they're doing it this year at Dayton Music Fest, and we can have them back at their favorite hometown, home away from home bar, Blind Bob's.
Outstanding. So those are our guests. How about you list off all the local musicians? And because there's so many, you don't have to tell us detail about each one. I
Okay,
mean, I would like you to, but we want to not have this conversation take 3 hours.
yeah, I got you. So I'm just gonna start and go down the list. Friday at the Bright Side, we have Tronny Threat. He's from Yellow Springs, rapper. We have Freya's Felines. We have 1984 Draft. We have Zach Pitts, Crab Without Legs, Paige Beller, the incredible Paige Beller, the incredible Salvador Ross, the incredible Smug Brothers, the incredible Night Beast, and then Kim L, who is I forgot to mention this other thing. This is the first year where we're putting in like a dance house. That Kim L is a part of the silent disco troupe, so that's very cool. Blind Bob's, our local bands are Abertooth Lincoln. We have a Rolly Yuma reunion.
That's going to be loud.
It's going to be loud and awesome. At Yellow Cab, we have Stoneface Sid, Motion Club, Ruchley, No Balance, O Condor, and then Sam King and the Suspects. At the Oregon Express, we have the Funk G headlining there. We have Aaron Magical, who's an amazing contributor from Cincinnati, Parade Rainer, Rat Bath, and Woos. I think Parade Rainer actually is from Columbus. Um, and then at the trolley stop, our local awesome people are Ariana Holiday, Tori Lee, Tim Pritchard, Nick Kazernis and Kylene Downs, Max Nunnery and friends. So just a well-rounded, great day of awesome music and some stuff maybe that's never come through Dayton, and then a lot of stuff that's just mainstays of our music scene.
Yeah, you have a good mix of some of my favorite artists in town and some folks I've never seen, which is really kind of what this event's all about, right?
Well, and when I first took it over, I really to truly focus only on Dayton bands, and then one year, it was the second year I did it. A couple bands specifically reached out to me, and then like Brandon Hawk asked me about one out of town band, and then that's kind of like expanded my thought on that. It's like, yeah, we should, I went full back Dayton, but then it's also like, well, let's give people in Dayton some surprises and things. Let's expand our region of influence to where we can be exposing ourselves to new music that's really really cool. So if you're a goer in the scene, like you and I are, you've seen a lot of the local bands, and then there's some. I know there's several of these bands I've never seen, and I can't wait to see, or I've seen them, and I'm just like, yeah, this will blow Dayton away.
Awesome. I feel if, for the people who are listening who truly love going to see music, do you want to see your friends play? Yes, you do. Do you want to see your favorite local bands play? Yes, you do. But you also probably like to be surprised. You like to go to a show and not know, for instance, if you're going to a national touring show and you're there to see the headline act and you get there early and the opener is awesome and you didn't know that was going to be a thing. That just kind of makes your night better. It's always cool to discover new music, especially when they're independent artists that are working just as hard as you and I are, Nathan, right?
Oh yeah, I mean, a lot of these, I think Rat Bath is just kind of one of those bands that's constantly on tour. There's a bunch of bands that are like that are just really out there, really hitting it harder than I want to at this point, even. Yeah, I mean, touring is for the um very uh very young and very determined.
Or maybe just very determined, because there are some folks that have been doing it for a while that are still doing it. And of course, it's not easy.
Yeah.
I mean, one of the nice things about going to see a touring band is because they play so many shows, you know that they'll have their life set down, right? They're going to be tight. They're going to be rehearsed. It'll be a
Oh
good
yeah.
time.
When you see a band that's been on the road for 60 days, and if you get them in front of a crowd, they are going to, it's just a different level when you're doing that. And that's just from my own personal experience of getting out on the road and just knowing how how good you feel like you can get when you're really putting in some time and effort and out there touring. Past the touring being brutal, it's
Right.
pretty fun to see how good you can get, for sure.
So, dear listener, we'll reiterate how you can come to Dayton Music Fest. We've covered the why. You should come to support our community and the visitors to our community. Here's some great music. If you run into Nathan out there, give him a hug. He's worked really hard to put this together. And partially he does it for him because he wants to see cool music, but he's really doing this for us and our community. So it's a very cool thing. If you
Thank you.
buy your ticket in advance, $25, DaytonMusicFest.com. $25 gets you a weekend pass. You get to see all the goodness on Friday, all the goodness on Saturday. You can venue hop. The pass gets you into every venue. You won't have to pay again. If you can only go to one night, $20 at the door gets you a one night pass. If you decide to buy your weekend pass on Friday, $30, which is still not bad. It's just not the discount. Did
No, but
I
if
get that all right?
you, no, you did. And let me just reiterate this. If you break that $25 advance ticket down to 5 different venues, you are buying a $5 show.
Yeah.
You're basically buying a $5 show. You just happen to be buying it into 5 different venues all at once. So, but it is, I feel like it's very affordable ticket price. It's fair. And like that, we also, big shout out to WYSO for being like our media sponsor and slash partner in Dayton Music Fest now, where this is also a fundraising arm for WYSO. So that's another thing that I just think has become really cool, because that, the relationship between WYSO and our local music scene is so tight knit. They do so much for our music scene. We're so absolutely lucky to have them around that we want to support them.
100%. Not everybody has a local radio station that will play independent artists from their region.
And they they really give everybody a shot. It's
They
pretty
do.
amazing. Yeah.
My music shows up on WYSO. Your music shows
Right.
up on WYSO. A
Right.
lot of our friends' music shows up on WYSO, and it never gets old to hear your song on the radio, does it?
It sure doesn't. No. I'm always happy for that.
So, yeah, thanks for mentioning that. That's good. I feel we have it covered. I think we've given people plenty of reason to come out to Dayton Music Fest this weekend. Do you have anything else to add before I let you get back to frantically preparing to get this thing underway?
Come out, have a good time, pace yourself. Definitely try to see almost everything if you can. Or just kind of, look at the schedule and create yourself a little map for your evening of the things you want to see. And definitely, if you see something that you haven't seen before, go give that a shot. We don't want to be the gatekeeping club in Dayton, Ohio. We want people to know that they can come to town and they'll get in front of some people if they've never played Dayton before. So come out and see, try to get a little bit of everything. There's a lot there.
Outstanding. Nathan, thank you for taking the time to talk to me. And well, I'll see you on Friday.
Hey, I cannot wait, Mr. Mike. And thank you so much for all you do and your support for this festival.
Thank you once again to Nathan Peters for taking the time to talk to me. And so much thanks to Nathan for his hard work in organizing Dayton Music Fest. Dear listener, if you are in the Dayton area, I hope to see you out there this weekend. listening to some fantastic music from bands both local and regional. It's always a good time. And also, listener, thank you for listening to my podcast. It is called the You Could Be My Aramis podcast. And it would also really help me if wherever you listen to podcasts, if you would like or subscribe, that would be a cool thing. So I'm going to take you out with something surprising. Well, surprising to you because I knew I was going to do it. I've been, as you listen to in this episode, I've known Nathan for a very long time. And once I started making my own music, I really wanted to find a way to get him to participate on one of my recordings. And eventually, we were able to make that happen. So I will leave you with a song from my 2020 album, Anxious Inventions and Fictions. It is called Goodbye, and it features Nathan Peters on piano. Say hello to the Badlands, prairie dogs and minute men, needles in the black hills, porcupines with the quills. Turn toward the setting sun. Say hello to the big bird, so majestic on his perch. Say hello to the Badlands, prairie dogs and minute men.